Hey everybody, RJ here with Star Wars Galaxy, and today I'm going to answer a question that has baffled Star Wars fans, myself included, for quite a long time. Why doesn't the Rebellion just send a ship at light speed to crash with a Death Star to destroy it? I mean, it'd be pretty simple. You just put a droid into an X-Wing during the Battle of Yavin and let her rip. Now, besides the obvious reason that George Lucas didn't think of every application for the technology in his fictional universe that was originally intended to just be one movie long, I've thought of a few possibilities as to why this might be the case. To be clear, these are my opinions, and none of this is beyond my own headcanon unless it gets put into a story at some time later. So, Disney, if you're watching, feel free to credit me. So, first let's go over how hyperspace travel works. I know, you already know that, but some people might not, so be patient. Basically, the ships in question use a hyperdrive to enter hyperspace, in which it can travel great distances in a short amount of time, because in hyperspace, you use wrinkles in the fabric of real space, which is where the universe that we normally see in Star Wars is like, to shorten the distance between any 2 points in the Star Wars universe. While in hyperspace, you could still collide with objects that are in real space, because all objects in real space cast mass shadows in hyperspace. And if you hit the shadow, you get blowed up. So here's my first theory. I think my second theory is a little better, so if you don't like this one, just stick around, it gets better. I thought it too, and I'm going to tell you both. And the bad one will look even worse if you've already heard the good one. So, let's say when you go into hyperspace, your ship doesn't really speed up all that much. It's just jumping forward at the wrinkles at the same speed it would be normally traveling, but it's just teleporting along the way. So, while it's traveling, say, X miles an hour, it teleports forward a few miles as well. This would mean that while the ship is in hyperspace, it's traveling relatively the same speed as the ship in real space, relative to hyperspace. That's convoluted, let me try again. While the ship is in hyperspace dimension, it is traveling the same speed as a ship not in the hyperspace dimension, but is also doing the mini teleporting thing caused by the wrinkles in real time. So its actual velocity is unchanged, but the time of travel is greatly reduced. This would mean that if an X-Wing crashed into the Death Star's mass shadow in hyperspace, it would be the same as if it crashed into the Death Star at full speed in real space, and virtually nothing would happen. Now, this idea is kind of bad, and I'm pretty sure it does tie up all the loose ends, but if you find a hole in it, let me know in the comments and I'll try to patch it. Alright, now that we got through the vegetables, let's dive into the main course. As you may or may not know, hyperdrives come equipped with safeties that take the ship out of hyperspace when a gravity well is detected. Well, the Death Star is so big that it has its own gravity, and that's why I'm kidding. That's not the theory. So, these safeties could be disabled at extreme risk to the user, but it was possible. Essentially, they protected a ship from hitting anything with a substantial mass such as a planet, a star, or a black hole. But what about smaller things? A ship hitting even a small asteroid at light speed could possibly be deadly, if you ignore that stupid theory I had before this one, that is, about light speed not really being achieved and all that jazz. Just don't worry about it, it's not important. It doesn't apply to this one. And what about a larger space rock that's bigger than your ship? Or a comet? Does a hyperdrive shut you down for that, too? How big does this mass have to be? And what about another ship? Now, I have no idea how big hyperspace lanes are, but with all the traffic that has to be there, especially in the big ones, you'd think there would be more crashes, right? Well, what if every ship came equipped with a shield to protect it from these smaller masses when traveling at light speed? Something to break them up so they can't hurt the ship. I believe that every ship that has a hyperdrive in Star Wars comes equipped with one of these shields to protect it from small masses hitting it in hyperspace. Be proximity triggered so that when any mass approaching it at light speed gets too close to it, it activates and prevents any damage from being done. So the only real way to take out the Death Star would be if you had another Death Star to crash into the shield without getting broken up by it. Now, since the Death Star is not constantly in hyperspace, the proximity sensor would probably always have to be on, even if you're in real space. The object coming at you in hyperspace is still detected though because it's traveling at light speed, and it's then shielded against. But what about the ships in hyperspace lanes that collide? Does the bigger ship just win? Well, it's possible that in addition to taking the ship out of hyperspace, when a gravity well is too close, the hyperdrives also shut down and the shield is thrown up. That way both ships get to survive, because they'd be thrown out of hyperspace before they collide. Well, there it is. If you find any holes in the second theory too, please let me know so I can amend it. I hope that at least some of you have revised headcanons now, and no longer find this a glaring plot hole in all of Star Wars. If you know of any other plot holes in Star Wars like this one, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to fill it in. You can also do that on Twitter. My username is @star_warsgalaxy. And please subscribe so you don't miss out when I answer your question. I'll even give you a shout out for coming up with the idea. And trust me, you do not want to miss me butchering your name. Thanks for watching. Bye.